Dear students, I, Mr. Vishal Shah, Assistant Professor, Krishna Institute of Pharmacy, Karad, once again welcome you all to this my YouTube channel. In previous video, we have finished with the simple lipids. In this video, we are going to start with the compound lipids. This is the second type of the lipid. As we know, lipids are classified into three parts. One is the simple lipid, second one is the compound lipid, other one is the derived lipid. So in this video, we are going to check some facts about the compound lipids. If you have not watched my previous videos, you can watch it by going to my YouTube channel. If you like the content of this channel, you can subscribe to my channel as well as share with your friends. So let's begin with our today's session, compound lipids. Before starting with our today's session, just we will see what are the learning outcomes of this session. After this session, students will be able to explain compound lipids, its classification and different types of the compound lipids. So first thing we will study what is the meaning of compound lipids. In introductory part also we have seen what is the meaning of compound lipid. In addition to simple lipid, they are consisting of a additional non-lipid portion. So these are the esters of fatty acid with alcohol containing one additional group, and so that one additional group is known as the non-lipid portion. And as we know that depending upon the non-lipid portion, these compound lipids can be classified into the several types. So first thing, compound lipids consisting of, you can say, two components. One is the simple lipid. As we know, simple lipids are nothing but the esters of fatty acid with glycerol, or you can say alcohol. In addition to that, compound lipids are consisting of the non-lipid portion. Now we will see, depending upon the non-lipid portion that is present in the compound lipids, these are classified into 5 different classes. So these classes include, here you can see lipoproteins, then phospholipids, aminolipids, sulfolipids and the glycolipids. From the name itself, you will get the idea about the non-lipid portion that is present in these compound lipid molecules. For example, lipoproteins, they are consisting of the lipids or proteins as a non-lipid portion. Then phosphoric acid. If phosphoric acid is present as a non-lipid portion, then it is known as the phospholipids. Then if amino functional group, if it is present as a non-lipid portion, then they are known as the compound lipids. Then sulfur compounds, glyco means sugar. If they are present, they are known as the glycolipids. Lipoproteins are nothing but the lipids which are consisting of the proteins. Further, the lipoproteins are divided into 4 classes: chylomicrons, high density lipoproteins, low density lipoproteins which is known as the LDL, very low density lipoproteins which is known as the VLDL. Now we are familiar with this HDL, LDL, VLDL because they are related to the famous disease condition of the heart which is known as the atherosclerosis, where generally the low density lipoproteins and very low density lipoproteins, they are accumulated at the inner wall of the different blood vessels, due to which what happens, the narrowing of the blood vessel will take place. Disease condition, that disease condition is known as the atherosclerosis. HDL, which is considered as a good cholesterol, okay, so which will be helpful to carry out the reduction of low density lipoproteins as well as the very low density lipoproteins. So this is about the lipoproteins. Now another major class of compound lipids is phospholipids. Why they are known as the phospholipids? Because due to the presence of the phosphoric acid as a non-lipid portion. Further, depending upon the alcoholic functional group that is present in these phospholipids, they can be classified into glycerophospholipids, phosphoinositates, and phosphosphingosides. So, depending upon, like say for example, glycerophospholipids, they are consisting of the glycerol as a alcoholic functional group. That's why they are known as the glycerophospholipids. Further, these glycerophospholipids are classified into phosphatidylserine, then cephalin, lecithin, plasmogen, as well as the phosphatidic acids. Now, these are classified depending upon the nitrogenous base that is present. In detail, we are going to see this classification, but just as an introductory part, the glycerophospholipids, they are classified into these 5 classes, that is the phosphatidylserine. Say for example, serine is nothing but it's a nitrogenous base which is present, and that's why depending upon the number of nitrogen base that are present, different nitrogenous bases that are present, these glycerophospholipids are classified into these 5 classes. For example, lecithin, which is consisting of a choline as a nitrogenous base, that's why they are known as the lecithin or the phosphatidyl cholines also. In detail, we are going to see this particular classification, but as an introductory part, these are the various classes for the different compound lipids. Further, next, the aminolipids, sulfolipids, they does not have any subcategories, but last, that is the glycolipids, they are further divided into the 2 classes. One is the cerebroside and another one is the ganglioside. So this is about the classification of compound lipids. Once again, we will revise this classification. Compound lipids are having 5 different classes depending upon the non-lipid portion that is present in these compound lipids. First one is the lipoproteins. As name indicates, they are consisting of a proteins as a non-lipid portion. Then phospholipids. From the phospho, you can remember that there is a presence of the phosphoric acid. Then aminolipids, which are consisting of the amino functional group. Then sulfolipids, which are consisting of the sulfur containing functional groups. And last one is the glycolipids, where glyco stands for the sugar. So depending upon the non-lipid portion, these are the various classes. Now lipoproteins are having 4 different classes: chylomicrons, HDL, that is the high density lipoprotein, which is also known as the good cholesterol. Then low density lipoprotein and very low density lipoproteins. Further, phospholipids are having 3 classes: glycerophospholipids, phosphoinositates, and phosphosphingosides. And these glycerophospholipids are further classified into phosphatidylserine, cephalin, lecithin, plasmogen, and phosphatidic acid. So let's start with one by one. First, we are going to discuss about the phospholipids, because these are the major compound lipids, one of the major compound lipids that are present in our body. So let's begin with the phospholipids. These are the esters of fatty acids with glycerol containing an esterified phosphoric acid as a nitrogenous base. As I said, these compound lipids are consisting of simple lipids. As we know, simple lipids are comprising of the esters of fatty acid with the glycerol. Some lipids may be having, instead of glycerol, any other acid that is present, but in case of phospholipids, glycerol is present as a alcoholic component. Now, containing, in addition to that, they are consisting of esterified phosphoric acid as a nitrogenous base, and that's why they are known as the phospholipids. Then occurrence of phospholipids, mainly they present in nerve tissues, brain, liver, kidney, pancreas, and the heart. So these are the various sources where the phospholipids are mainly present. Then we will see what are the functions that are observed by these phospholipids. Phospholipids are one of the important constituent of the cell wall. They help in blood regulation process. They help in absorption of lipids from GIT. For example, lecithin. Lecithin is required to carry out the absorption of lipids from the GIT. They are actively involved in the structure of myelin sheath, microsome and mitochondria. Myelin sheath, as we know, this is the important part of the nerve tissues. That's why in occurrence also we have seen that phospholipids are present in the nerve tissues. They act as a prosthetic group for certain coenzymes. Prosthetic groups are also known as the cofactors. So these phospholipids are acting as a prosthetic group or the cofactor for certain enzymes. So these are the various functions that are served by the phospholipids. So one of the important function is they are the important constituent of the cell wall. They increase the role of fatty acid oxidation, due to which fatty acids will be metabolized. Further, phospholipids, as we have seen, they are classified into three classes. Glycerophosphatides, which are consisting of the glycerol as an alcoholic portion. Example include lecithin, cypherin, phosphatidylcholine, plasmogens, and the phosphatidic acid. Then phosphoinositides. Lipositol is the example. Phosphosphingosides, or they are also known as the sphingolipids. So these are the various classes of the phospholipids. In this video, we are going to cover with the lecithin. First we will see glycerophosphatide, and we will start with the lecithin in the next video. Just we will see what is the meaning of glycerophosphatides. Now, these are the major phospholipids found in the membranes and contain two fatty acid molecules, or they are also known as the tails, that are esterified to the first and second hydroxyl group of the glycerol. The third hydroxyl group of glycerol forms ester linkage with the phosphoric acid. So in these two sentences, you will get the idea about what is the actual structure of these glycerophosphatides. What they are consisting of. These are the major phospholipids found in the membranes and contain two fatty acid molecules, which are esterified to the first and second hydroxyl group of the glycerol. As we know, glycerol is consisting of the trihydric alcohol. So first and second carbon atom is having the two fatty acids, and third hydroxyl group of glycerol forms ester linkage with the phosphoric acid. As we know, phosphoric acid is present as a nitrogenous base in this particular phospholipids. In addition to that, phosphoglycerides contain a second alcohol which is also esterified to the phosphoric acid. Means hydroxyl of glycerol is esterified to the phosphoric acid. In addition to that, second alcohol is also esterified to the phosphoric acid, which is known as the head alcohol group. As it is present at the one end, that's why it is known as the head alcohol group of the long phosphoglyceride molecule. And depending upon the head alcoholic group that is present in this molecule, the various phosphoglycerides differ in their head alcohol group, and depending upon they are classified into several classes. However, all of them contain two non-polar tails, which are nothing but made up of the fatty acids, each consisting of a long chain, usually of C16 or C18 fatty acids. So this is the major composition of the glycerophosphatides. Further, usually one of the fatty acids is saturated and other one is unsaturated. The latter is always esterified to the middle or beta hydroxy group of the glycerol. Means, as I said, there is a presence of two fatty acids. Out of that, one is saturated and other one is the unsaturated. One of the phosphoglycerides is that they contain an asymmetric carbon atom, important position 2 in the glycerol part of their molecule. So asymmetric carbon is present as a second in the glycerol part of the molecule. So this is about the glycerophosphatides. Different examples like lecithin and all these things we will see in the next video. If you like the content, you can share